Hey everybody, FG back here again. Some progress on getting my garage organized. This is my weekend toy, 92 Grand Prix, 4-cam, factory 5-speed Copo car, one of 57 built. I'll put a photo in the video without the cover in case anybody's curious to see what it actually looks like. Yes, I know it's exactly not truck related, but anyhow, getting the garage squared away a little better here. Got some tools hanging up. Painted the workbench. I don't know how this color is going to come out in the video. Just on screen here, it's starting to look sort of pink. Although it's not. I'm not sure that I'm 100% in love with this color yet. Went to Home Depot yesterday and went hunting through their overstock paint. Found out that paint now is about 50 bucks a gallon, and decided that I liked $9 much better. So picked this up. It's really hard to tell when you have a can of paint with just a tiny little splotch on the top what the color is really going to look like. Not sure I'm going to keep this shade. I don't know what to really exactly to do next, but this is where we're at. This is the first coat over the original, and I'll go ahead and post some photos of what that looked like too. It was incredibly beat up. You can see I really didn't do anything with the holes in the top surface. I was going back and forth about that. I don't know how old this bench is, but it may actually date back to the construction of the house, which was in the mid-1960s. It looks like it's definitely been used a few times during its life, and that's good because it's a bench. It's what it's supposed to do. I'll post some more video later when I get everything put back together again. Here's my Corvette poster, and if you notice, the C4 is the last Corvette in this poster. This dates back to the mid-1990s, and I would have no idea if it'd be possible to find another one, but I've carted this from move to move to move through different houses, and I've held on to it, and it's been in a frame the whole time, so it's basically in pristine condition, minus the fact that it has a couple fold marks in it, which are not real obvious, but are there. At one time in its life it was folded in half and then into quarters, but I've kept it up pretty good. So obviously you can see here that I'm a bit of a General Motors fan. Here's my Pontiac service, and here is the parts storage coming together. Yeah, I know this isn't exactly a truck-related video, but in these days, with all the craziness that's going on, and especially out here in Maryland, where we're pretty close to martial law, that might be the next step. The governor's already told everybody that they don't want anybody moving that doesn't need to, and the National Guard's been deployed to maintain law and order. So I'm just working on some inside projects in the meantime and seeing if I can collect a little bit of cash to get some more truck projects going on. So here's my pegboard. I picked up some new pegs yesterday over at Home Depot, which actually is still open because I guess they're considered essential. And I went ahead and got some of my tools hung up. I'm happy with the progress. Got to get things squared away here a little bit more. Obviously this is definitely still a work in progress. There's my big stand-up compressor right next to my table saw, which right now is serving more as a table than a saw. Find a spot for all these things eventually. The sockets you see here, I've started organizing those as well. I got them started with these plastic holders that I've been sitting on for several years that were just in a closet because all I had was an apartment and no place to put them. So starting to get those organized, and kind of happy about that. It should make future projects roll a lot smoother. Here's some that are hiding underneath, just out of the way until the paint's all done. I'm going to put 2, probably 3 coats of color and then a couple coats of urethane clear over this to protect it from being beat up by brake fluid and antifreeze and whatever else, and whatever other parts I have going on. What I decide to tear apart, there's a vise that goes right here in the corner. You probably can't tell from all the holes which one it actually mounts to, but I've got a small vise that was screwed down. I have a larger vise that's still in storage. I need to go get that one and bring it down, get that mounted as well. But at least my work area is starting to come together. I'm happy about that because working out of random toolboxes and having stuff scattered all over the place is a royal pain in the neck. You spend more time hunting for tools than you do completing your projects. So I've got some pretty good progress going on here. This guy right here on the end with the blue handles is all my electrical working tools. I've got my wire stripper and crimper and lineman snips and other pieces of that nature. Directly above them is 1,500 wire ties. My wife told me that I'm never permitted to buy wire ties ever again in my life now. Here's the drill bits over here. Not perfectly organized yet, but working on. Here is a tote of screwdrivers, plus the ones that I have hanging up, plus the ones that are still in the truck in a toolbox in the rear. So I have plenty of screwdrivers. Here is my other electrical working equipment. I've got 2 digital meters. One of those is a clamp on for measuring AC current, and the other one's just a standard DVOM. And currently on top of those is my quick fist collection, which will get moved somewhere. And this guy right here with the double handles is full of all sorts of different ring and spade terminals for electrical work. I found this nice little guy. This is double-sided. You flip it over and open whichever lid you want to access. It's really a beautiful piece. I've got thousands of little connectors in there, and they're all well organized. It worked out great. Directly above that is another little tote with my AA batteries. You can see all the ends of them. And above that are plastic totes with all sorts of different types of hardware. The one on the bottom is actually Romex wire staples, and above those are just random hardware. Some of these are stainless steel screws and bolts. Some of them are just standard carbon screws. And over here I've got a box with brushes and my spade bits. Underneath of that are my thread lockers. I've got the green, the blue, and the red, so I'm ready for pretty much any bolt that needs to be locked. And there's a whole container of stainless steel bolts that came from McMaster Car. And over here I've got organized all of my chemicals, except for motor oil. Motor oil is over on another bench by itself because I have so many. Here's some paint, 303 protected for the dash, battery, cleaner, etc., etc., etc. And all my rags are down here in another bin. And directly underneath of that is extra wire and other wiring accessories in this bin down here. And also in this bin, obviously you can tell that I've done a lot of electrical projects, and I keep a lot of miscellaneous accessories around to avoid having to make a trip to the store, hopefully, every single time I have a need or desire to work on something new. So it's progressing. Those of you who have garages, I'm sure, can definitely identify with the pain of trying to lay them out when you just move to a new place, and after that the pain of trying to keep everything nicely clean and organized once you have laid them out. Because if you're anything like me, you get done with a project and you're tired and probably hungry and you want to go inside, and the last thing you really feel like doing is reorganizing all your tools back to where they're supposed to go. But yet you know it's important, because otherwise you're going to be hunting all over the place the next time around, and very few things are more frustrating than that. So anyway, this is FG signing off. Hopefully everyone's doing well and not going too stir crazy with the lockdown, which I'm assuming has probably reached just about every state in the country here by now. So stay sane, stay safe. Hopefully we get through this, we weather this with minimal sickness and minimal fatalities, and we come out the other end a newer, stronger country. Signing off for now. Catch you on the flip side.